Let's return to our main story this morning. And are you noticing a real difference in the internet speeds when you're out and about on your mobile? A new report investigating the service offered by the UK's 4 mobile phone networks has found big differences in coverage and speeds of 3G and 4G across the country. The good news is London has the best coverage, but it varies massively between companies. Well, joining me now is Samuel Johnston from OpenSignal, the company that produced the report in association with which. Good morning. So we're talking about London, we're saying it's the best. How does it compare to the rest of the country then?
It's faster, better coverage, generally better performing than everywhere else in the country. I mean, to give you an example, say just using 4G coverage, in London you see average 4G coverage of 58%, and in Wales the average 4G coverage is 12%. So, I mean, that's a kind of huge difference.
So, sorry to put this in layman's terms, does that mean that 58% of London is always covered by 4G?
No, we're actually using our own particular metric for this, which is the time the user has access to 4G,
right,
which we think gives a better indication of the real user experience of a mobile network. So in kind of London, you'd expect the average consumer to have 58% time on 4G.
Now, I have 2 phones, one work one, one personal. Sure. One's 3G, one 4G. I cannot tell the difference. Is there really a significant difference between things?
I mean, there is. I mean, you know, 4G speeds are about 4 times faster than 3G speeds. But again, you need to be using something which is very data heavy or data intensive in order to really see that difference. So kind of big files or watching high definition internet television.
And for some people, the statistic that we just read out there that 4G is now half as fast as it was a year ago will be a bit alarming because they're still paying the same on their bills.
I think, you know, that's something which is going to kind of maybe scare people a bit, but actually it's to be expected. As networks kind of get more saturated with users, you naturally expect speeds to come down. And, you know, when these kind of brand new networks are rolled out, no one's on them, so naturally the first few users are getting incredible speeds. But, you know, 4G networks are still very fast.
There's a story in a lot of the papers today, and it's an argument between the Home Secretary and the Culture Secretary. The Culture Secretary wants all these mobile masts to share their signal, and making it sound like it means everyone will get coverage everywhere that they are forever. Yeah,
I mean, that's definitely not going to be the case. There are still going to be holes in coverage. Networks tend to mainly provide where people are, so they have kind of very similar overall kind of coverage patterns. There would be some improvements if this were put into place, but to be honest, I think it would be a total regulatory nightmare trying to work out, make everyone share.
And lastly, just because we touched on it yesterday in our technology news, there's now, you know, talks of 4G plus. I mean, is there a real difference here?
All these terms are kind of network marketing terms, so it's very difficult to know exactly what networks mean when they say 4G plus. But I would expect, you know, a generational shift to be several times faster than the previous one. So if you can't see the difference between 3 and 4G already, maybe it's not needed.
Perhaps I'm not the best person to say. I don't do much than check my email. So,
perfect.
Simon, thank you so much for coming in and talking to us today. OK, let's get a check on the front pages this morning, kicking off with The Independent.